Good morning, everyone. Hope you've had a good and productive week, in however that might look for you. And that's kind of the fact of what I've been thinking about a lot actually recently, about what do I class as being productive. And my first thought, as I'm sure many would probably refer to work and how productive you are in the workplace, as that's where an awful lot of our time is spent. And that kind of led me on to considering how productive my week is in other aspects of my life. And then I was thinking mainly about my children and my calling and many other people's calling as being a parent. And I find it personally very easy for me to not be as productive as I would like to be at the moment, especially considering that any classes we once went to or things like that have seemed to have stopped. So you're kind of in the house doing things or can go to the park, but that's pretty much it. So you almost feel like you're not being as productive because there's not as much that you can do or what you were doing over a year ago now. And that's not something, it's something that I don't want to be okay with. I want to make sure I am being productive with my children and that they're getting the best of me in terms of my attention and in terms of the environment that I provide for them. It's not being on my phone all the time, or just making sure I do give them attention to play with them when they need me, rather than putting that attention elsewhere. And that kind of sent me to naturally kind of looking at God and how God is as a father. And if we read probably the most well-known verse in the Bible, John 3:16 tells us, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life." God's shown us the importance of being present in the fact that he sent his son, an incarnation of God, to be with us in the flesh, to be present in our lives and to spend time with us so that we could learn from his nature. And likewise, the time that I and that we give to our children will have a similar impact. And I really hope and I really pray that we're able to show and represent a perfect father's love to our children as the example that we've been shown. If we look in Romans 8 verse 6, it says, For to set the mind on the flesh is death, but to set the mind on the spirit is life and peace. Something that might feel more important than ever at the moment when people are in their minds and in their house and in front of a computer screen an awful lot at the moment. And in becoming Christians, we've decided to take a path that leads to life. So to carry on living in a way that acts as though that is not the case seems crazy, doesn't it? But yet so many of us can easily fall into that. The approach of each day is to get through the tasks of the day, and the idea of eternity maybe doesn't even cross our minds throughout the day. It's so easy to be occupied with the things of the world, and they can consume us. But we need to have at the forefront of our minds that eternity is waiting. So in everything that we do, to live a life as though that is the case. So I pray for us today that we'll be able to set our mind on the Spirit and those things that do bring life and peace. Thanks everyone. Have a great day.